What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with TJ, special edition for the Washington Capitals coaching change, or the firing of Bruce Boudreau. I'm gonna word that a little nicer. We'll call it coaching change. What do the Florida Marlins call it? They dump all their high market correction. A market correction in our nation's capital. There should be a lot more market corrections in Washington than there are, but that's a different story for a different day. But at any rate, Bruce Boudreau, he's been on the hot seat for I'd say a year and a half, going back to the upset at the hands of Montreal back 2010, April, May of that year. Last year made them play a little more refined defensive game, and it showed they weren't the exciting team that they've been in the past. OV wasn't, the 50, 60 goal scorer he's been in the past. Yeah, mundane numbers, pretty, very mundane. 32 goals and 82 points last year. Not exactly what you want from a guy like that. And OV has 8 goals through 22 games. A player of his caliber, you expect to put up much better numbers than that, regardless of the defensive zone play. Whatever. Mike Green, another player that's struggled. He's been injured the last 2 years for the most part. He's got six points in 8 games this year. The injury bugs bit him. That's hurt the Caps. When you have a great puck mover in the back end, that affects you on both ends of the ice. That's led to the Capitals' woes. But I don't think Boudreau's held his players accountable over the past few years. Ovi Semin, I cannot stand, because he's got so much skill, but he doesn't, just can't put it together. He's got 10 points in 21 games. He's a guy that's underachieving. That whole team needs to play up the level of it's capable of if they want to make a cup run. They made brought in Troy Brower this offseason, brought in Bakun, made another tried Joel Ward, who got benched the other night for showing up late to practice or a team meeting. So he tried to make, I always look at that as Boudreau sits him out for being late to a team meeting. And he's a good player, good second, third line guy, but would Boudreau do that if it was OV or Backstrom? No, he wouldn't. I hate to draw my own comparisons, but I was obviously dismissed as a hockey manager my senior year of high school for violating a team rule. I'm telling you right now, no one else on that team was dismissed, and you got to punish the least valuable components and not make an example of the rest of the team. I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. I'm just saying that's the example coaches have. That's been Boudreau's Achilles heel. He's not holding his guys accountable, and bringing in Hunter, good old Dale Hunter, who only NHL player at 1,000 points and 3,000 penalty minutes. Pretty astonishing. He's a fan favorite for a number of years, Hunter, in Washington. Actually coaching the London Knights, fastest OHL player coach to 300 and 400 wins. Granted, he has had a shitload of talent up there. Carlson, Kane, Delzato, Tavares was up there for a little bit. I get the whole list right here, but I can sit here for hours and just talk about the great players the London Knights have pushed out under him. Rick Nash, Perry, Girardi for the Rangers. Jesus. They're the preeminent developer of talent in the Ontario League, in my opinion. They're like they're to the OHL what USC is to college football. They just push out guys because they and gonna continue with a little college football lingo here. It's they play a pro style, if you will. Good, accountable two-way game. Kind of like if you watch, like I said, going with football, you watch USC Player of the Year, especially under Pete Carroll, play pro style on offense, and that's what you're gonna get in the pros. So you know what you're getting into before you're there. It's, Hunter's a pretty good coach. I'm curious to see how a guy who's never coached an NHL game is gonna go into that locker room and deal with a team that's lost the respect of its coach. Lost respect for its coach, excuse me. And, Hunter's got a long... Hunter was obviously a tough nut. He really was. But like I said, a guy that's never coached an NHL game, going to go in there and tell Semin and Ovechkin, Bastian what to do. Personally, I don't think Ovechkin deserves a C anymore. I think he's... and I think too much blame has been put on him, but he's not holding his teammates accountable. He's got to be more of a leader, and he hasn't been this past couple of years. I think he's and Semin got to go. Semin has got to be off that team. He's a cancer in the locker room. He's atrocious to watch. His effort is just appalling. Just how poor it is out there, and it really pisses me off to see a guy that has all that talent and not the drive to succeed. And you know, look at what was the last year in the playoffs against Tampa. Gets pushed down. He's pissing him on in about the call, but while he's pissing him on, Mighty San Luis takes the puck up and scores. I think that's an irony right there in and of itself. Salmon's this high draft pick that's had everything given to him by the Capitals, and honest across the NHL, Mighty St. Louis, a guy that had to battle to get there. And he's the one that's scoring, the other one's pissing him on about a call. It's the nature of the beast, but I think Connor's got his work cut out for him with this team. The talent is there. You can't argue. I mean, Semin, Backstrom, Obi, all those guys are tremendously tremendously talented offensively, but they just don't have what they have not shown they have what it takes to make it past the second round of the playoffs. They even going back a few years, 2009, they blew the 3-1 lead against Pittsburgh. Now Pittsburgh battled back. Obviously, Pittsburgh eventually went on to win the cup. So do you get kind of a mulligan on that? Yeah, maybe. But last year, I mean, Tampa was a good team, but they laid down and died. For in front of the Bolts. In 4 straight, which is not what a team that talent should be, and how they should be in their season. Another little side note on Boudreau I found interesting. He was the fastest NHL coach, 200 wins, beating Don Cherry. In fairness to Grapes, Boudreau had the benefit of the overtime, the shootout, which they didn't have back in Cherry's time in the 70s. That's pretty much it for the power play today, guys. It's Monday, so I'll have a couple special editions, but that's the breaking news of the day, and let me know what you guys think, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the Caps respond. They're playing Monday, tomorrow night. Let me figure out what's going on here. St. Louis, wow, talk about an irony. You got, I think I've used the word irony more than I've ever used in my life on this episode. But Hitchcock, another coach that replaced Davis Payne, comes in and is going to lead the New Look Blues into the nation's capital. So it's going to be a very intriguing game, and a lot of storylines going to be going on. And I can't wait to watch it. So see everyone later, guys.